So we're going to find out what they're doing in game number 2 because it's getting underway right now. Powder, he's got to do something to get himself back in this match, but Ostkaka looking to take 2-0.
Come on, mech shaman. Tilt. No mech shaman.
Well, 2 void callers in hand with a coin. You know, I don't feel like, I honestly could see him keeping this entire hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance maybe one of the void, like if you're going to coin out Void Walker and Flame Imp, but then you pitch one of the void callers, possibly both to try to maybe get a more powerful hand. It depends on how he wants to play the game.
Yeah, I think you keep the coin if you're going to keep the void callers. For sure, you want turn 3 void caller, right?
Well, no, I'm saying if you're going to play both of the 1-drops, then like on turn 2.
Well,
like,
sure, yeah.
Yeah, on turn 2, either play a 1-drop or draw a card, and in this matchup, you might want to draw a card. You know, you usually need the overwhelming card advantage in the warrior matchup because you have to keep up. And I like, if you're going to do both on turn 1, I like just getting rid of both of the bigger drops. That's
really my question, though, is it better to do that on turn 1? You're playing against warrior right now. I mean, the way that they take control of this game is by weaponing all your minions down. If you take that possibility away from them.
Well, yeah, I have to believe if you're going to keep the Flame Imp, you have to Void Walker turn 1 as well. You cannot just give up to a Fiery War Axe, you know, because like this hand is just, I mean, your hand is so bad if he just has Fiery War Axe in any way to get through and take care of your Flame Imp. You need to get at least 3 to 6 damage out of your Flame Imp here, and he's going to get a ton. Plus Direwolf Alpha, I play it in this build a few times. Not a card you always see, but it's just another card that makes Egg and Spiders better.
Yep, so once he attacks with that, Direwolf Alpha's off the menu.
You know, he's trying to decide if he wants to be a little less mana efficient and play his Void Walker here, but continue to protect his 3-2, or if he wants to play Haunted Creeper. The problem is, if he plays the Void Walker, it messes up multiple turns of his curve.
Yeah, that's really the big one to consider, and I don't think it's worth it. I think the 6 damage.
Getting 6 for 1 mana, you're okay with this.
This will leave him a little bit open.
Well, I mean, you know, Acolyte of Pain is fine. You're going to be able to go Direwolf Alpha and Void Walker next turn, so you're going to be able to get extra damage on the Acolyte of Pain here, and this isn't one of the matchups where you try to control all of their draws. You're just trying to get overwhelming board states to where they constantly have to keep using their utility spells as removal. Because anytime you do that, it's harder for them to cobble together a combo, and you can push for lethal with like Doomguard, Power Overwhelming. You can just get one big burst turn.
So Inner Rage to lead, and Ostkaka's hand looking pretty darn miserable right now. But he does have an Acolyte of Pain on the board. Does have a couple Battle Rages. You know, if he buys enough time, suddenly this game's looking winnable.
Well, I mean, and I got to believe Powder might trade into this Acolyte of Pain, mostly because of cards like Battle Rage. You kind of cut off multiple draws from Ostkaka here, not just one. You're cutting off 2, plus you get these 1/1s, which is, you know, great. And I love this minion placement here from Powder. This is a deck. If you're going to play it, you actually need to pay attention where you place your minions.
Yeah, but it's paramount to winning.
Yeah, it's one of the only decks right now in Hearthstone where it matters where you put your minions.
And this is a situation I look at for Ostkaka, and I wonder to myself, you know, how big a deal is Defender of Argus? How big a deal is Imp Gang Boss? You know, how big a deal is just even Void Caller in this situation? You know, do I need to Whirlwind Execute here just to pull damage off the board?
I mean, if you Whirlwind, you don't necessarily have to execute because Whirlwind cuts off so much damage. You know, it's taking 3 damage off the board, and I like shield blocking into possibly Whirlwind here because you just get the most information possible.
Yeah, but if he Whirlwinds his board, is he beating a Defender of Argus anyway? That's really another question.
He's not going to beat a Defender of Argus most likely anyway, so he's just going to hold on and, you know, hunt
for bigger.
Nelly. You've been so good at this season. Now, here's the weird thing. Defender of Argus with Direwolf Alpha can create some weird placement effects, but Powder's going to be able to play around that.
Yeah, this is
a lot of damage.
This is pretty close to lights out for Ostkaka at this point. And this is exactly what this deck's trying to do.
Overall.
This is really the illustration of what his goal was when he mulligans these Void Callers, and you're going to get to this point pretty darn often.
Yeah,
so it's 2 very different game plans. You know, if he keeps the Void Callers, there's a chance it just backfires. Like, say Ostkaka just has Deathbite, runs over your Void Callers, then you don't have anything left.
Yeah,
you know, that seems to me like a much more likely scenario than Ostkaka having all the right answers every single step of the way. So I actually love this mulligan from Powder.
Yeah, love the mulligan. That's what I was talking about. I think you could see him mulligan both of those there, which he ended up doing, which is great for him. And this is where this deck is so good. I've talked about all season long. I think this is one of the most underrated decks in the game. I think it's extremely powerful. Its one drawback is the opposite of what's happened in this game. Any of the games where you don't have a 1-drop or you don't have something like Flame Imp or Void Walker going on, and then you like hero power on 2 because you don't have a lot going on in 2, then you see the real problem of the deck. And he can get really aggressive here. He can do 2, 4, 6, 8, 13. He actually has like lethal here. Yeah, if you attack with everything and then put the Doomguard next to the Direwolf Alpha, this is lethal.
Yeah, you can see him counting it up right now. He's gonna
Yeah, well, we
double,
see,
triple
like
check his math.
I like this from Powder because we've seen. Oh, come on, Powder! Don't miss another lethal.
Oh, it's I don't think it's not going to make a big difference.
Let
I
me
think
recount
towards the
this
end.
story. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, you fooled me.
Yeah, we were short. Yeah, we were
fooled
short.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
You counted 13. I was like, well, 13 plus 6, that's 19.
Yeah. I was gonna say this was my mistake here. I counted an extra minion somehow. But I mean, this is practically lethal anyway. I don't see Ostkaka getting out of this one when there's a Doom Guard in his hand.
So Powder actually did count it up. We didn't count it up.
Yeah.
Good job, Powder.
I got a little ahead of myself.
Great job, Powder.
Yeah, good job, Powder.
Tannen, you're awful.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I can't math.
I can't math. Yeah, there's no recovering this board. This game was over on turn 4 with the Defender of Argus, shutting off all whirlwind effects. Ostkaka doesn't have the time to catch back up. This is what this deck is trying to do, and it shows you the importance of having early game utility to fight these positions.
Now, I don't think this deck is just one of the most underrated decks. I think that card that you're just mentioning, Defender of Argus, one of the most underrated cards in all of Hearthstone. That card adds so much stats for 4 mana.
You weren't around when that was a 3/3.
It was a 3/3 at one point?
Yeah, that card was a 3/3 at one point.
Jesus.
Yeah. It was.
How was that card even legal?
Well, it was a little. As you can see, it's a 2/3 now. It was a little. Shadowstone Cleric used to be a 3/3 as well.
Oh wow.
Dark Iron Dwarf used to be permanent buff.
Oh wow, that seems fair.
Yeah, it wasn't very fair. Skaka's going to do what he can to try to stay alive, but Doomguard going to put a swift end to this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 5. He's still 1 damage off.
He's still 1 damage off, but I mean, what can Ostkaka really do over the next turn or two? Are you going to die? You're going to have a Doomguard in play plus a Gang Boss?
Yeah, plus a Void Caller.
Yeah, he's going to play it slow here.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, yeah, you can do this with this deck as well. You don't have to always just push crazy amounts every turn because you have such inevitability. Your deck is so powerful, and you just have, he's going to draw extra cards. So Ostkaka has to deal with this entire board, and then you have more card draw to begin with.
Fought back as hard as he could, but nothing in sight. I can't imagine what would pull him. I mean, I guess maybe he could, like, Battle Rage into Brawl. Even that would win. There's still a Doomguard coming out.
Yeah, he needed 1 more mana. He needed the Warsong Grim Patron this turn. But Powder knew that wasn't a possibility. He knows that he can take his time this turn.
Yep. So I'm going to dig for 2 instead.
Stable Ghoul can, shut off quite a decent bit of damage here.
Armorsmith and Stable Ghoul, will that keep him alive?
It matters if it'll keep him alive through the Ironbeak Owl. That's the problem. Ironbeak Owl into Doomguard next turn is going to be a ton of damage. So I don't see a way that, excuse me, I don't see a way that he gets through here with Owl and Doomguard big in Powder's hand.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from Ostkaka's perspective. Like, how does he try to claw back into this? So.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is the only play that he does have. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah. So 1 Ironbeak Owl shuts down all this potential. And while Ostkaka tried to fight back, it was just too much from Powder in the end. He's going to tie this series up at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, this is what you normally see from this deck, almost running out of room for its minions.
Running out of... What a problem to have. Oh, no, I have too much stuff on board.
It's a good problem to have. Now, you've seen it actually become a liability in some matchups where, they get to freeze your entire board. But that's such a small little thing.
Well, is it a small little thing versus Ostkaka? I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's
think,
Freeze Mage,
if there's a guy who's going to play Freeze Mage, this is definitely the one who can do it.